Hi guys, PXA here. I know it's been a while since I've done an actual discussion video. This one's more of a theory, and yeah, I'm still not quite back to the Pokemon content yet. I'm just not really sure what to do for it, so any ideas in the comments, I guess. I guess we'll be going into theory about Class 1A's Toru Hagakure. How does your quirk work? How can she see? Slight manga spoilers for later in the video. I will tell you when they happen, and I will give a short summary in the pinned comment and a timestamp for when they are over. So first of all, who is Toru Hagakure? Toru Hagakure is the highly underrated invisible girl from Class 1A. Seat number 16, score 16th in the class, born June 16th. She has a bright, happy personality and usually stays in the background. Her best friends are Mina, Ashio, and Mashiro Ichiro. Many people tend to overlook her and say she doesn't have a personality, which is just untrue. Her favorite food is caramel, her favorite thing is hidden camera shows, and she is 152 centimeters, or about 5 feet. And I did know all of this on the top of my head. Now, understanding optics. That'll be important for the rest of this theory. It's the study of how the human eye works, just the eye works, but really talking about the human eye, which is the same as the other animals' eyes. For the most part. Part we're discussing? Yes, it is. I think. Some animals, most probably. So, optics is pretty much the science of how we see. And the part of optics I'll be focusing on is the part about how our eyes get light. Our eyes detect color, shape, and depth perception through rods and cones in the retina. This information goes to the brain through the optical nerve. The way rods and cones get light is by absorbing it. This plays into what we're talking about because light doesn't reflect off of Toru and she doesn't absorb any of it, meaning it can't be absorbed by her eyes. I think there's something we don't know about Toru Hagakure's quirk. I think that thing is how it actually works. So the first piece of evidence I have for this is when we see her eat food. See, the food just disappears as she puts it into her mouth. That wouldn't happen if light just went through her. We would see the food in her mouth. But right here, there is a clear point where the food cuts off. That's where her mouth is. And you can see it better when you actually go through and watch the clip. You see it disappear as she slurps up the noodles. We would be able to see inside of her. We would be able to see the food getting crushed by her teeth as she chews on it. If light just went through her. Okay, evidence 2, real life technology. So you may have seen this military technology before. It's a sheet that refracts light around it and whatever's behind it, so it appears to not be there, as you can see with this man disappearing halfway behind the sheet. You can still see exactly what's behind the man and the sheet, just not the man or the sheet, because it's moving the light around it. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's not a green screen. Then here's where the spoiler part comes in. I will give you a quick summary and the timestamp to skip to in the pinned comment below. And I'll just give you some time to stop here before I go into the spoilers. Just remove this cover. That's enough time. So, the third piece of evidence is her abilities. She has two main abilities, both centered around warping light. Warp refraction, her ultimate move, and just her light bending she does with Aoyama's laser. Even using it to save Deku in the manga, not that he couldn't avoid it, she just got it first. chapter 337, we got to see her face reveal. She bent the light from Aoyama's beam after he fired it at Deku's head to make sure his secret wouldn't get out. Toru's main point when it comes to moves is blinding her opponents by bending light. So, here's where the theory is. Toru's quirk is not having light pass through her like we thought before. It's about bending light around her at an atomic level, most likely. We can see her clothes. We can see whatever's behind her. She bends light with her moves, and anything inside of her disappears. All things that would be true if she had light bend around her. If you have anything else, leave it in the comments, whether you're helping to support the theory or disprove it. I appreciate the discussions that can happen in the comments below. I might even join in a few. Now, the contradictory evidence, because this is important to every theory. If light bends around her, that still doesn't exactly show how the light gets to her retinas, as the light would also be warped around her eyes. But I think it's possible that there's almost a funnel type thing going into her eye, shown in the part of the chart that I had here, just this X. The light would be bent around her face, but go through a small area in her pupil, unnoticeable to even Shoji's duple arm eyes. I think this also means the lens of her eyes would work differently, but a mutant quirk does change the way your body works. Changing how the eyes get light isn't exactly a stretch for this universe if we have a kid with sticky balls on his head. And it's the bluest how the light works. So while it changes how her eyes work, it still falls under optics and the physics we have established in our real world for how she could see. It's just the lens of her eyes is different. And comment your thoughts. Comment section is just for a reason. Why not use it?